Bonjour, hello, welcome to MaxMountainWorld. Bonjour, hello. As you can see, bit of a bleh day outside, but doesn't really matter. I've just been out and done my walk around the inside of the building, checking doors are secure as usual, making sure the building is actually still secure. Doing my other things, a quick pass, checking the car, doing a bit of thinking. And each time I'm going past the car, I do these walks 2-3 times a day. And each time I'm going past the car, something's irritating me. So, this is going to be a garage day. First things first, just my bag of camera stuff. Off to the workshop and get the stuff that I need to do these jobs. So I'm going to use the same method that I use at work when I'm doing these little jobs with the car, which is actually down below in the garage. So at work I've got this old sack banner thing, it's knackered, I've kind of repaired it so it still works a bit. An old stool where someone's burnt it with a barbecue set or something, and it's an old bungee strap that's stretched to its limits to hold it all in place. Now, toolbox goes in there. Box of stuff that I'm going to need for the jobs. Tissues, a rag, some tape, hand cleaning stuff, spare nozzle, come back to that, screws, drill bits, drill. That is an important thing, as in that, but I'll come back to that as well. It's no bracket of a bed, but I'm going to find that very handy today. So that's all ready to go. Old bed sheet, keep myself clean while I'm on the ground. That can go there. Rubbish bag. Spare bag for odds and ends if I need it. Empty old shopping bag, but it'll get used. Something to drink. A towel for cleaning my hands, wiping my hands. Silicone, clear silicone sealant, which just hangs down the back of the box because that's kind of shaped like that. There's a bit of space. I think that's about everything. I'll just stick the camera bag on the top of this and I'm ready to go. So normally at work, you know, I'll have maybe 1 or 2 little things to do. It'll be loaded up with light bulbs and things, and that's it, it's ready. So the thought process is, instead of carrying about a heavy box with all the tools that I might need and a bag with other stuff, I can, generally speaking, I know the building that well, that when I get a call to do stuff, I'll generally know what I'm likely to need. I'll load it up, and that way I'm not running up and down to the workshop. It's a very rare thing. Usually I arrive somewhere, get the job, do the job, bang. It's better for me, it's better for the clients, less interruption, but for me this time it saves me coming and going for the car. 3 little jobs in the car today. 2 of them should be pretty easy. 1 is going to present a challenge. So the first little job I'm going to do here is, this isn't a Rolls Royce, it's a Citroen. This piece of trim was hanging off and I stuck it back on. Now, this is a little bit loose, so I'm going to do the same with that. The rest is okay. Now this will lead on to the second repair as well, but when I've been going shopping, for example, I've taken someone with me, or if I've picked up a hitchhiker, and whenever they get out of the car, I've said to them, you know, don't slam the door, it's an old car. But inevitably people forget, or I forget to give them that kind of warning. Bang! It's closed. So the second repair will be, you can see the inner door card. This is what happens. So I'm going to repair that too. I've already done the other side because I fixed a little problem at the beginning and I fixed that card back in. The problem is that the little plastic bitties that actually clip in snap when you take them off. So I've got a cure for that too. Now obviously I've pushed the car out because there's no point just starting the engine after a wee while just to stop it and not give it a good run. So the way that these door cards fit in is the top bit hooks over and it's held in by plastic clips dotted around. Now obviously the stress of door slamming, everything's solid there, but I can feel it starts to come away there. So let's have a little look inside here, and you can see that clip is still intact, that one's broken, that one's come away, and there's another broken one there and there. So let's fix this. Now, top one here, it's quite easy, fold against the door, sorted. Now with what I've done so far here, determined it's okay there, all it really needs is just to be fixed in there. So here's how I'm going to do that. First thing, a drill bit just bigger than the screw I'm going to fit in. And I know behind here is metal, but I know behind that there's nothing I can damage. So I'm just going to pop a little hole in. Then, using a tiny drill to make a pilot, always holding against so the door's not moving free. And that's a pilot in the metal behind. And then fire a screw in. And the finishing touch doesn't look too good, but with a black permanent marker, just go over it, around the sides, in the middle. That to me doesn't look too bad. Now bear in mind that this is an 18-year-old car. I'm not going to go lashing out on money for new door cars, new plastic fixings and all the hassle to actually sort it. That's a nice easy way to fix that. And a lot of this stuff, if it looks okay from about a metre or so away, then it looks fine. I mean, that looks fine to me, the trimming. But you can see previously, it's been scraped up a bit. And you can see where I've just touched in. Now, silver paint, it's impossible to match it. But, yeah, you look closely, it looks horrible. But at a distance, works okay. One thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to use silicone. Now, this is a previous time I've used it. That's blocked solid now. Little top tip for you is I'll use that to seal it up again after. Now, just take that off. And I've already taken that off. If I can get close to camera with this, you can see that I've actually got a chamfer on it. And that way, the silicone's going to try and go off at a 45-degree angle. Now, I'll just get the silicone up to the end of the tube. Another top tip, I've seen people working away with silicone and they use that as a clean-off and you just get it everywhere. The best way to work with silicone in a loo roll, for wipes, for fingers, for whatever, just roll it out. And you can use that Fold it over, you've got a fresh bit. Fold it over, you've got a fresh bit. So the first thing to do here is this loose bit of trim. It's loose till about there. So I know how far away that is. I'll take an old roll plug and I'll just wedge it open from the back. And that way I've got two hands to work on this. And just very gently, can't really see this on camera, but I'm just gonna use that 45-degree angle and also the nozzle just going in a bit now to the back. And I can take the roll plug out, place that into place, wipe off any excess onto the loo roll, fold it over. Now's the part where I'm going to keep it in place while it's setting, as it were. I've already got that glued up, as it were. Silicone sealant actually makes a fantastic glue. As I explained at the start, that other piece of trimming that I repaired, which is there, is never budged. So I polished this car a few weeks ago, so the tape isn't going to stick to the car, but it'll stick to itself. So what I'll do is I'll run it onto that rubber there, run the tape around the back of the door, and hopefully this is going to work. I can then close the door, put that old piece of kitchen roll thingy into place, and I'll now put that tape on as tight as I possibly can onto itself. Just double check, and yeah, that's holding into place just nicely. The next time I come to the car, I can see it's not sticking. I can take all that off, and it's easy, it's just off it goes. Now, just to make absolutely sure, I'm going to do another one of them. Now, again, start the tape on the rubber, because rubber's got no polish on it. Down the back of the door, making sure I don't go over the screw that I've just painted black. Shut the door. And I'll bring this tape up as tight as I can without actually snapping the tape, and put the tape onto itself. That way it's very, very tight. And there's 2 times there. Now this might relax a little bit, it won't matter. I can feel it's tight to the door at that. And now I'll just take off any more excess that's on it, wipe it on there. Job's a good one. Next time I come back to the car, that'll be stuck solid. There's no polish down the back of it, obviously. And job's a good one. On to the third job now. Now this one is a challenge. What I'm doing here is I'm not doing box jobs to sell the car. I'm doing things to keep it going and keep it going nicely. For me, I will keep this as long as I can keep it on the road. So all these little jobs just kind of add up to make sure that the car is right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fix this. Now I'm not good at bodywork. This is going to be a challenge, but I have time to make sure that I do it right. And also in my thoughts, walking around, doing my walks and things, I've kind of come up with what I think is going to be a good solution to this. So first thing to do is I've got to get the car jacked up, get the wheel off, and that way I've got room to get in behind it. There's 2 things that I'm going to try and do with this. I'm the second owner of this car. The first guy was an old farmer who, believe it or not, his hobby was gardening. Strange combination, but what he used to do was the car has always been garaged. I've kept it garaged in here, and he kept it in a little normal garage, personal private garage. But he kept all his gardening tools next to it, and obviously something fell against this. It was like this when I bought the car. So I have another slight defect up here that I might get in the way of. That was actually my mechanic. obviously leaning in to the car and working away. Put these things, these are so flimsy, look at that. So I might manage to just get that out, but again I've got a nice little method to give it a shot. Back up in the workshop, and I have this old bed bracket, and what I've got is that if you imagine the wing of the car like that, and it has this lip there, and the damage I'm wanting to push out from the inside out, I can get this inside there without actually hitting the inside of the lip and damaging anything. And what I want to do is just get this so that I can have it at 90 degrees for doing a bit of japping, as they say in the north of Scotland. Set it up in the vise, that should be about perfect. Get it really tight. Heads up warning, this is going to get a bit noisy. There we have it, I've made my repair tool. So just looking closer at the damage. It's a lovely echo in here. Try and get in before the camera gets confused with the reflections. But it's not actually broken the paint. Whatever's hit it has taken the top layer of lacquer or whatever off. So hopefully I can get this back out without actually breaking the paint on the way out. It should still be stressed in. Not just a challenge with the job, but a challenge with the camera too, getting the right angles and everything. I've got this tool that I've made up, set up, and I've got it on my vice grips, which incidentally, the Irish farmers call that the third hand. They're an invaluable tool for this. Now, to allow me a bit of play with this inner plastic sheet panel thing, whatever, I'm going to take this plastic thing out. Now, a lot of people just try and lever them, and what happens is it twists them and they snap off. But the trick is to get it started, get a fingernail in behind it, and then work it out. Always making sure that it's straight and it comes out in one piece, ready to go back in. So now, right, that's better. Yes. So just got a bit of wire through that hole that was in, the little plug thing was in, just holding the panel out of place. And now I can work on the damage. I'm going to work on that and then that. So I put a little bit of tape in there just to keep this out of my way. And what I've done is my adaptation of that tool. I've gone a stage further, and I have a piece of this kitchen panel, kitchen drawer, whatever it is, stuff. But it's quite flexible. You can bend it into shape, and it'll generally speaking stay there. So when the tool is actually behind, I can see in front exactly where it is. Now, I think that's quite clever. All of this is me just adapting stuff as and when I need to. A little sidetrack on this one is I used to have clients who'd see me at work and they'd say, "Oh, are you McGyver?" Because McGyver's a very popular TV show. I said, no, that's my little brother. I taught him everything he knows. Right, so we'll go up here, and that little thing was falling out, but it doesn't really matter. I can actually feel where the dent is inside. And from there, I can take the gentle persuader and just give it a little chat. It's brought it out just a fraction already. So that tape fell out, but I've got now a well rolled up piece of cloth that's going to stay in place and keep this inner panel out of my way. Now, let's just get in there, and again. bringing it out a bit. It's not breaking the paint. And the thing I've learned with this is to really have patience. Don't try and do it in the first swipe. I've learned this with errors before, playing around with bodywork and stuff. Take your time and get it right. Now I'm finding this a little bit awkward, working the camera, working the third hand, working two hands. So I'm going to just carry on with this and I'll put the camera back on when I think I've finished. Now, that's not too bad. It has slightly broken the paint before, not now, but I've got that out quite a bit. I'm quite happy with that. It's better. It's not perfect, no way, but I think it's going to be a bit less of an eyesore, especially after I've given it a good polish through with a very coarse polish and get it to blend in with surroundings. And again, from a distance away, it'll look okay. Now, the second thing, let's get the camera on it, is this guy here. Now I reckon I can do that using a similar method. So I've got this rubber hammer. I've taped another piece of this stuff onto there. So when the hammer's inside and I've got a bit more room to play with, I can actually tell where it is, and then I can just very gently tap it. Now with these panels being so thin, it won't take much to do that. So there we are. Eck left with their bandages on for a day or so. Got a name, Eck, the Saxo. She does have character, and she's in bandages. So, bit of character, yeah. So everything's away again. Everything's put away in the boot, all wrapped up, nice and tidy. Everything put away inside, seats back to normal, windows closed. And that's nothing like the eyesore it used to be, really. So obviously with our bandages on, I've got to leave this window open. So the only thing left to do is I'm going to take that same sheet, I've shaken it off, and I'm going to make sure it's wrapped in to close this off, because birds do sneak in here through the holes in the ventilation of the main door. Keeps flies and stuff like that out as well. And I'll just tuck that into the door, shut the door behind it, job's a good one. So, thanks for watching. As ever, your support is much, much appreciated on my channel. So until the next time, don't forget you can subscribe down below here. You can click on the alert bell for future notifications of future uploads on my channel. Don't forget you can hit the old thumbs up, and also comment, share it, do whatever. All your support, as I say, greatly appreciated. So until the next video, thanks for watching. Ciao.